In addition to employees, hours of operation, and rooms, services also help determine when appointments can be scheduled. When entering services, we will want to concentrate on our most basic service menu. Packages, series, memberships, and anything else will be built out of these services later. Let's build services now. From the Quick Start Guide, click Set up your schedule and resources, and then Add services to your menu. If we don't see the Quick Start Guide, we can go to System Settings and click on New Service from the settings on the left. We'll build a facial service for this example. Required fields have red asterisks. Start by picking the service type, either a service or a couple service. A service is one customer with one service provider, and a couple service is two customers with two service providers. This service type setting cannot be changed once the service is created, and it's important to choose the correct service type here. Next, pick a category for the service from the drop-down. The list of categories cannot be changed or added to, and we need to choose the best fit for this service based on the options we see here. With the category chosen, we will then be able to see the subcategories within it. And just like with categories, subcategories cannot be changed or added to, and we need to choose the best fit for this service based on the options we see in the subcategory dropdown. Below, we have the option to name the service either by the subcategory name, which is Signature Facial, or we can use our own custom service name by choosing Use New Name, and a field appears for us to enter the name into. Below that, we have the option to make this an add-on service. An add-on is an enhancement service that cannot be booked alone. It can only be booked with a standalone service. Add-ons cannot be booked online either. A couple of add-on examples are Hot Stones and Paraffin Dip. This facial we are building is a standalone service, and we will want to leave the add-on box unchecked. We can also require 2 staff members to perform this service. We want to leave this unchecked for this facial. If this were a couple service though, we would want to enable this option so that when we book the couple service, the system knows to book with 2 staff members instead of just 1. Anywhere we see the SKU and barcodes in Booker, just know that these numbers are automatically generated by the system and used for tracking and reporting, and there is no need to change these. Next up, setting the duration of the service. If the service requires processing time, enable it by setting this to yes. Processing time is used for hair color services and allows us to enter in how long it takes to start the service, process it, and then finish it up. Processing time is how long the customer will wait for hair color to process, and it is during this time that the hairstylist can be freed up to start another appointment. If we want to free up a staff member so they can start another appointment during the processing time, do not apply processing time to the staff and leave this box unchecked. We can also free the room for other appointments if the customer is moved to another area by leaving this box unchecked. This facial doesn't require processing time and is an hour long. Below is the option to set up recovery time, which is internal time given to the employee and or the room after a service is finished to clean up and get ready for the next appointment. We will set this to 15 minutes for this example. This makes the overall duration an hour and 15 minutes. Next up, enter the price of the service. If we want the service bookable online, check the box to do so. We will then see additional options to limit when this service can be booked online. Entering in a service description isn't required, but it's highly recommended, especially if we want customers to book appointments online. The active setting is set to yes by default, and we don't need to worry about changing it. This setting can be useful for seasonal services we offer, as it allows us to deactivate a service that is currently not in use without deleting it from the system. Further down, we will find the additional options. If we require a payment from a customer anytime this service is booked and we have integrated merchant processing, we can set up a deposit here. Deposits are set up within each individual service, which gives us the flexibility to take deposits for certain services and not for others. If we don't use deposits, leave this set to none. Staff fee is tied to employee compensation, specifically the per service fee specified by service pay type, found in the Compensation and Benefits tab of the employee profile. If we don't compensate employees by that pay type, this can be left to none. If this service requires equipment, we can set this to yes and choose the equipment. A good example of equipment for facials is a facial steamer, and we can attach it to the service here. Once equipment is entered in Booker and tied to specific services, the system will only let us book appointments if the required equipment for the service is available. The last option to set up here is Do Not Require Staff on Availability Search. When checked, this setting allows the service to be booked without a staff member. This is a good option if this is a service like a sauna, a float spa, or a cryotherapy session that doesn't require a person to perform it, but only a room. Click Continue to move on. In Step 2, we can attach the products used during this service and track the product cost per service. This is only used for reporting and doesn't have an impact on employee compensation. Click Add Products to start. From the pop-up, click Add for the products to add to the service and click Finish. Once we see the list of products here, we will then enter in the specific amount we use during the service. Then enter in the product cost per service to finish up this step. This step to add products is optional to use, and if we don't need to use it, we can skip it. If we want to use this but don't have products entered in the system yet, we can skip it for now and come back into the service later to set it up. Click Continue to move on. In Step 3, we will find a checklist of any employees in the account. We want to check off the employees that can perform this service. Any employee that's checked here will be put on the appointment calendar available for appointments. If we haven't added employees yet, we will skip this step for now and connect services and employees later. Click Continue to move on. In Step 4, we'll find a list of rooms that have been created in the account and can check off the rooms that this service can be performed in from here. If we haven't added rooms yet, we will skip this step for now and connect services and rooms later. Click Finish to complete the service. Back on the main services page, we can see all the services that have been created in the account. If we need to edit a service in the future, we can come here and click Review from the Actions column on the right. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.